is, and healing. We
The
in our
psychedelics themselves will never inherently heal anybody. The
right.
point of psychedelics, whether it's mushrooms, acid, ayahuasca, toad, uh, DMT, is to give you the glimpse.
Yes,
Once you get the glimpse, it's time to hang up the phone.
for sure.
We can still explore consciousness in these ways, and it's okay to do so. But like I said, once you get the message, there's nothing else that the psychedelic is going to be able to do for you. It's then up to the seeker to do with their new realization or
Yes,
information and start integrating it into their experience.
right.
It'll
Giving
never fix our lives permanently.
no, nothing will. Only your awareness of that experience. Like it's like I can only fix it if I can see it. I can only hear it if I seek it. I for me, and that's why I have never I don't have a desire to have a that type of psychedelic experience in that way. For me, the microdose was enough for me to reconnect with who I was. It allowed me to see that that moment that I had where I came out of my body wasn't a bad experience. That was who I was. That's why it wasn't fearful. And of course, I can do it. I do it now at will, but it's happened during my traumatic experiences on its own. So I wanted to explore that, and I was had too much fear. And something when I did the microdose helped me quit bullying myself. You know, it's like I'm my own bully. And instead of seeing myself with shame and guilt, and I just saw myself as love and said it's okay to love myself. And because it allowed me to love everything around me, I was able to pull that energy from what I could now feel. Like I couldn't feel a tree's energy before that. I couldn't hear my plants. I couldn't walk in the mushroom lab and know that somebody in there wasn't okay. I now feel that life around me because I have the awareness of it. But it was something that I needed to do for me. You know, like it didn't have to be that, it could have been anything. But for whatever it was, it gave me the ability to feel life around me. And that gave me the ability to love myself. So I'm a huge advocate for that. And I think it's got its space for people that are so traumatized by this distortion that it allows you to hear that you're still in there, that you are,
Absolutely.
and you are not.
Absolutely. And I'll be the first one to agree because literally my path is the epitome of the path of substances, and my awakening and um my realizations, a lot of them came through psychedelics. But it still took the inner work. But
Yes.
psychedelics definitely was a huge part of my journey, and not just psychedelics. There are other substances, believe it or not, that showed me, that taught me,
Yeah.
that were my teachers. Substances you would think that would never be able to teach you, but yes, everything can be your teacher if you're aware enough.
Yeah. It's true. It allows, because I know I can get to that state now, it like validated something inside me. There was so much doubt in everything I felt in understanding my own divinity, you know, and seeing it let me see myself in the stuff that I thought was ugly, you know, like I'm like I know we usually focus on the direct path, but the law of one's so relative to the same knowledge and teachings. It's like that there's nothing positive or nothing negative. You know, it's it's all the opportunity for that experience. Or at least that's like I needed to look at the negative, the things that I'm fearful of, and find a way to love it, to give it love.
Yeah, once you let go of all your ideas and concepts and beliefs and feelings about anything, every single one of them is a wall that you're breaking down. And every wall you break down is bringing you to what we all truly want, which is freedom.
Yes.
We want freedom
And connection.
and connection. We want love,
Yeah.
we want
Yeah.
connection, we want peace, love. These are all the same thing. All these words mean absolutely. Love is freedom. Love is connection. All of these, this is what we're all going for. So, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I um I think the reason things like for Tony and I, the reason we felt the connection to those mushrooms is I was going through some very serious medical stuff and non-psychedelics helped me. Uh, you know, turkey tail, lion's mane, and reishi. And they have healing properties, municipal and totally in other countries are medicine
For the chemotherapy and for the radiation.
for chemotherapy and radiation. And it got me interested in, you know, what we're doing to ourselves with substances. You know, I don't know. We fell in love with it. We felt humbled by what we can't see around us.
If you see some of the pictures that they hide from modern day society, you can actually see Jesus used mushrooms in certain ways to help others. It wasn't always, and he also used a magic wand, which is quite
We see pictures of the
quite
Hindus had them with a wand,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different paths and
So
so many
cool.
different methods. The path of the devotee, the path of the intellectual, the path of the artist, the path of substances,
Yeah.
the mystical path, the pathless path. It doesn't matter. Whatever path you take, you're always going home,
Yeah.
whether you're aware of it or not. But to be conscious of the journey makes it that much more sweeter.
Yeah, compelling.
Yeah, it does. Nobody, I feel like we're walking around with a bunch of people that aren't realizing it,
And that's
you know.
fine.
95% of humans don't.
Oh, don't forget there's that planetary alignment on the 28th if you get a chance to be outside in that energy.
That'll be
All
during
right.
the retreat, so that'll be beautiful.
That'll be wonderful. And that's the perfect time for you to meditate
28th of this.
of this
Of
month.
February.
Yep, next week. And um I keep making jokes about all the planets. Like Earth is out here by itself right now because all the planets on the other side all lined up together. I said
Behind the
this is the
sun.
perfect time for those poles to shift and kick us all off, get rid of the parasites. We can all go to the fourth way faster.
Alrighty, guys. Time
Hey,
of
1 second before you start, what give us a Gabe update on what you got cooking there.
Yeah.
um so Gabe's just having me co-host the retreat with him and just running some of the show and helping out, basically just allowing me to be a part of the process and um have the experience, and for when things eventually at some point take off with me, I will kind of have the experience. um
So cool.
yeah, and we were thinking about working together, as far as I thought I needed some help in my teachings, but I sat for a while, and after our previous conversation, I've had another huge shift in my awareness, and I don't need any help. I everything's happening just the way it needs to. And I everything's fine. There's no problems.
Go with the flow,
Yeah,
Jay.
just go.
No problems. There are no problems. That's all I have to say.
That's wonderful. Go with the flow, baby.
I thought I needed I kept telling myself I needed structure and presentation, and I don't need any of that.
No,
No,
All I have
it's right in that heart.
your heart's
yeah,
got
this
it.
what we're doing right here, speaking,
Perfect. Perfect.
that's all I want to do.
Mhm.
And I don't want to write a book or have PDFs of stuff. I just want to get into your mind and see how I can bring you back to the source of it.
Right. That's the best way. That's beautiful, Jay. It's about connection, and there's so much to teach just in those real interactions with
It
people.
is. That's magic in itself.
It won't feel programmed
No,
or
it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't feel so robotic.
I don't want to watch a podcast. I
This
want to talk to
can't
Jay.
be mechanical. It has to be tailored to each person because every mind,
Some do probably. Yep.
yes, but at the same time, everybody's mind has been conditioned a certain way. So the approach and pathways that we each take are going to be different. We may have similar obstructions within our path, but there's going to be a lot of different ones at the same time. So even in my own, so far in my short amount of times, I'm noticing how different minds are and how to work with them. And it's interesting. Like I said, I learned from you guys as much as you may learn from me.
Yes. We learn a lot.
We learn a
It's
lot.
it's that it's not just the words, it's the energetic connection.
Mhm. It's the
It's the
vibration we
intention.
feed to each
Yeah,
other.
it's what we feed to each other. We lift each other up. We're batteries, remember?
Yep.
You know, and that's sometimes just what you need. You need to be around the right batteries. And like we were saying, you're walking around in a world with people that are unaware. So you get drained a lot because you're like, are you kidding me? Can you not see this?
Yeah.
Tony and I think like went, well, listen, I don't want to yak because I want you to get back on your structure because you do have a couple things that you want to tell us about before. And I want you to get with your new client and have a good session and just be beautiful.
This is all for you guys. So if you want to talk, then talk. If we want to explore the self, we can explore the self.
Let's do some exploration.
All righty then. I think last week we left off with the fact that we've just finally come to the conclusion that we recognize ourselves as awareness. Am I correct?
It
Yes.
is.
Beautiful. So in the first stage of realization, we have I am that which knows. I am not a body. I am not a mind. I am awareness. Now, then we move on to the second stage of realization. Because even after the recognition, I am awareness, we are still in a type of subtle duality. There's still an object or a knower and a known, a subject and an object, an inside and an outside. There's limitations. So in the second stage, we're discovering not only the qualities of what it means to be awareness, but to explore what exactly our experience takes place within. Now, if we rely on our perception, our sight tells us that we are experiencing 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. That's experienced through thought. So there's 4 dimensions: time and space. Both of them are illusions and concepts. They're not actually true. They don't actually exist. So we want to collapse the distance between the inside of ourselves, namely what we call the mind. Everything that happens on the inside of us is mind, thoughts, and images. And everything that takes place on the outside of us, we call matter, something physical, the outside. But in my experience, in the experience of awareness, there is no inside and outside. There are no limits. There are no borders. There is just here and now. Awareness is the borderless and limitless container of all experience. There is nowhere to go. So let's start off with an experiment or guided meditation to bring you guys through this realization. And I think we've kind of explored it once before, but it's okay. Go back over it with our new realizations and reintegrate, re-understand. You guys get comfortable and let me know whenever you're ready.
There, pity, pity. All right, we ready.
Go to the silence first. In silence, you alone are truth. You alone in silence are aware of yourself. In fact, to be aware is to be yourself. So abide knowingly right now as the presence of awareness. I want you to take your attention now and bring it to the sensation of the body. And just notice that the so-called physical body is just a sensation. All we can tell from our current experience is that we are experiencing a sensation. The mind then labels it a hand, my eyes, my head. Drop the label and experience pure sensing. Now take your attention and go to the tingling sensation behind your eyes. Notice the tension and the tingling that may arise. Allow it to soften. And check for yourself to see, do you find an outline or a border to this sensation that the mind labels my eyes? Or does our experience just tell us that we are sensing? Is it even sensing? Or is it just knowing? These are three different ways of looking or perceiving reality. We reduce matter to mind and mind into consciousness. Now, take your attention and go to the sensation in your hands. Do the same thing with your eyes. Look for an outline or a border that says, "This is my hand." We never find one. All we ever find is sensing or knowing until the mind decides to create an image or a territory on the map. I swear to God. Now, go back and forth between the sensation in your hand and the sensation in your eyes. Does your attention ever cross a border? Does it ever leave the field of awareness? Or do both of these sensations take place within the same field of consciousness that my voice is taking place in? The same place where any sights, sounds, taste, textures, thoughts, or images take place. We never find a border or an outline if we stick close to our experience. Now take your attention and explore anywhere in the body. See if you can find a border or an outline, something that says, my awareness starts here and ends here. Something that limits this awareness. Any limit would have to have a quality, and that quality would have to have a form. But what you are has no quality, has no form. You awareness are non-objective. You awareness are not in time and space. If I tell you to take your hand and place it on a nearby object, thought says, I'm now experiencing something outside of me. But we don't care what thought has to say. If we stick close to our experience, we can tell that the new sensation of our hand on whatever object we may be feeling is also taking place in the same space as the sensation of the body and everything else we experience. It takes place here and now. It takes place within us, awareness. If we were to hear an airplane fly by, thought would say the airplane is 30,000 feet in the air. But is it really 30,000 feet in the air? Or is the sound of the airplane taking place in the space of awareness? Same if we were to open our eyes and see the perception of an airplane. Thought again would once tell us that the sight of an airplane is taking place 30,000 feet in the air. But our experience says that the perception of the airplane is taking place here. In fact, it's not even a perception of an airplane. It's only a perception. The mind adds a airplane, namarupa, a name and a form, to the one indivisible reality. See clearly that you awareness have no borders. There is no start or stop, beginning or end to you awareness. You are immanent and transparent. You are eternal and everlasting, meaning you are not in time or space. Time and space is just what consciousness or God looks like when it's perceived through the faculties of human perception. Awareness is never bothered, stained, is never filled with sorrow or grief or pain or sadness. Awareness is never affected by objective experience. Awareness is not limited by its experience. And we can explore this. Is any thought, sensation, perception essential to you? When a thought comes and then it disappears, does a piece of awareness go away with that thought? And even something more severe like the body. If we damage our bodies or our brains, does that awareness ever become affected? No. Awareness does not share the destiny and the limitations of the body and the mind. But if we believe and feel that we are a body mind, then we will suffer accordingly. So we must relentlessly abide knowingly as the presence of awareness if we want liberation to unfold from a place of wisdom. You awareness need to do nothing. You simply witness from the placeless place that you are, the dimensionless place, and allow the movie to unfold. No expectations, no resistance. Make awareness your new home. Be rooted in yourself. The more you die to concepts, the more you die to ideas, dogmas, attachments, and egos, the more you begin to truly live. And God's just waiting for you to finally let go. Thank you.